See, I'm pretty sure this is all you missed. We had a participation grade. I think I just excused you. And then you can just go through this with us. Okay, the first one. It wants to know if the vertex is a maximum or a minimum, and what is that ordered pair? Well, you first of all have to know what the vertex is. Y'all, it's either the tip top or the very bottom. Okay, so does everybody agree that it's this point right here? Why is that? Okay. Does everybody agree that? Yes? Okay. Sorry, give me just a second. To fix this. That's correct. Alright, now, this is the point that I'm looking for. What is that ordered pair, first of all? Well, you go over 0. Did you go left or right? No. So it's 0. And then we went down 1. What number is down 1? Negative 1. So I can tell that it's either A or D. But then you have to know, are you at a maximum or a minimum? Maximum is how high you can go. A minimum is how low. So this is how high. Think of a mountain. Would this be at the top of the mountain? That's a maximum point. Okay? So your answer is D. Did y'all get D? Okay. Questions on that one? That should be like an easy given one. So if you don't understand something, tell me now so I can explain it. We're all good. Okay. Number 2, this one gives you ordered pair. Some of you can tell, are they going up and down or whatever? I think the best thing to do on this is to graph it really quick and look at it, okay? So if I was to just draw a little graph real quick, I don't know what numbers we go to, but I'm just gonna make a few little lines. Okay, let me just draw a little picture, and this one's 0, 1. I plot that point. Negative 1, negative 2. Negative 2, negative 3. Negative 3, negative 2. Oh, I need to go over one more. Negative 4, 1. Okay, and then I just connect my dots. And remember, these are parabolas. So, what is the vertex? What is the ordered pair? Well, some of you could just tell it was this right here, because that's where it starts repeating. Or you could say, oh, it's negative 2, negative 3. And then is this a maximum or a minimum? It's a minimum. So our answer is B. Any questions on that one? No? We get this? Okay. I hope you all know how to do the ordered pairs, going left, right, up, or down. All right, now I'm going to erase. I wish I would have charged my calculator because I can use it. Order the group of these functions from widest to narrow, okay? So the widest to the narrowest. Just so you know, the bigger the number gets, the bigger the slope. That means narrow. Think of a mountain, okay? Or think of your treadmill. If I was to press that up button on that treadmill, like for talking about slope, I don't know if y'all have ever had a treadmill, but if you keep pressing the up button for the slope, it's getting steeper, which would be narrow, okay? That might not make any sense, that's fine. You can graph them and compare. I'm about to do that. But the widest is the smallest number. That's a 1, a 3, and a 5. What's the smallest number? 1. That's the widest. What's the next one? 3. And then what's the next one? 5. That is widest to narrowest. Does that make sense? You can just memorize that. Say that you forget that. It comes time for the test and you're like, oh crud, I just forgot everything. I hope my calculator doesn't die on me. So type them in. Here is x squared. Here is 5x squared and 3x squared. Now, it's going to go in that order. The blue graph on mine is my x squared. The red is the 5 and the black is the 3. Which one looks the widest? the blue, right? That was my x squared. So I would put the blue graph first, my x squared. Then I would put the black one, isn't that next? Yeah, which was the 3. And then I would put the red one, which was the 5. Do y'all kind of get that? Like you can look at it on your graph and tell which one's the widest and which one's the narrow. Or you could have put them in order how you thought it was going to be and then check your answer, if that makes sense too, instead of going out of order like theirs. Okay, then the next one, I'm going to show you calculator and not first because we should just know this. Hey.
Do you have the computer for the board thing, or where is it?
It is normally what I've been putting it is underneath the thing.
Okay, and Katie's not here, and I don't know how to operate it. And
Okay.
seniors will want to watch their slideshow after practice.
Okay, what time is practice?
I don't know. If I find out, do you think if
Oh, I
I
can come
come and
down
watch
there.
class or whatever?
Yeah, I can
about-
come down there and get it set up in a minute. I can even just try to go through a bunch of these problems.
Well, just let me know what time.
And-
I think it starts at 9 their practice, so it'll be a little after that.
Okay, I'll try to come down. This class ends at 8:47-ish. I might can just leave this class a few minutes early
Okay.
and come down there and try to get it done before their practice.
Okay. And at some point, I guess I need to learn that because there's only 2 on campus that know how to do it.
Yeah, but no, so let me try to leave down from here at 8:40 and go down there. You think that'd be okay? If they start at 9, we can make sure it's working before. That gives
Okay.
20 minutes.
That sounds great.
Okay, and if I get done with this a little early, I can leave my door open and try and get down there and set it up too before that.
Thank
Are
you.
we good with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. Okay, y'all, on number 4, how is this one different from the second one? So they both have a 2x squared. Oops, I don't have my green marker here. They both have a 2x squared. That's not different. What's different? This one has a plus 5. Where does that plus 5 move? Up. It moves it up 5. So I'm going to pick the one that says 5, up 5, which is C. Does everybody see that?
What would it look like if it were to move right?
It would look like this, and I'm about to show you on your calculator. To move right, it would actually, to move right 5, it would look like that, which is weird. But when it's with the X, that moves it on the X-axis, and it's backwards. Okay? But you're going to check it on your calculator because you don't want to miss it. Oh, did you need to write that down again? No. Okay. You did? Okay. So this would move it, I forgot my 2. Minus 5. This is going to move it right 5. Okay, if it's with the X. If I moved it left 5, I would have put a plus sign right here. If I moved it down 5, I would have put a minus 5 right there. But I'm going to show you. Let's type in our basic one, 2x squared. And then let's type in 2x squared plus 5. Oh, y'all can't see that quite yet. Okay, and then when I graph it, okay, here's my first one. Where did this one move? Up. So I would look for my answer that said up 5. Is everybody good with that? Okay. So I would type this one in first. So that's your basic one. And where does the next one move? That's what we're looking for. Okay. Let's keep going. I'd like to get through more than half of these today. All right, number 5. Okay, it says, oops, wrong one. An object is thrown from a height of 256. Isn't that funny that we see that number up in our equation? That's its starting point. We start that high up. It moved up 256 feet. Anyway, so this object is dropped, and this is our equation. When will it hit the ground? So let's graph it, okay? If you graph it, go to y equals, you're not going to see the top, and I'll explain why. Negative 16, I'm going to just use an x squared plus 256. Now, notice my graph. I can see when it hit the ground. I just can't see the top. I don't need to see the top. But I know it's way up here at 256 and it's coming down. Does everybody understand that? I only went up to 10. So that's why I can't see way up here at 256 feet. count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay? But can you tell, can't go backwards in time, you can't go to negative. So where does it hit the ground? Does everybody agree that it hit the ground right there? Okay, so you can trace it on your calculator. To me, it looks like 4. Okay, I could look at my answer choices and which one is it? 4. It is actually 4. You can press this little trace button and it's at 0, so I need to come to the right. Got a long ways to go. Oh, there it is. And oops, well, it's kind of hard to tell. It's getting close to 4, but I can't get it there. So the trace button on this one really doesn't work. Just look at it and tell. Is everybody okay with that? Like you can just kind of count, where does it hit the ground? What if it asked how high it was? Well, that would have been way up there. We would have found that answer. But on your test, it's going to ask when did it hit the ground. You're going to graph it and you're going to see. This one doesn't matter. We can't have negative 4 seconds. Cannot go back in time. Okay? All right, questions so far? No. Number 6. Okay, this one's great. It says graph it. What are you going to do? If you don't have a calculator, you're going to borrow one from somebody. I think the best thing to do is just plug it in here in y equals and pick which one matches. So y equals x squared plus 4x minus 1. And we are graphing. Now, it may look a little different. Let me zoom out here. Mine may look a little different. Theirs is going out to 12. My graph is only going out to what number? 10. So theirs is zoomed out a little bit. So don't like, oh no, it doesn't look exactly the same. That's because theirs goes out to 12. Mine goes out to 10. Okay? Mine is zoomed in a bit. But it looks like my vertex is in the bottom left corner. So is that in the bottom left corner? No. Is that one in the bottom left corner? Could be that one. Is that in the bottom left corner? No. Is that in the bottom left corner? No. Easy as pie. Look, that's our answer. We didn't have to do anything. Okay? But the axis of symmetry is at -2. And that is the vertex, -2, -5. Is everybody okay with that?
What is the axis of symmetry? Is that where they like both?
That is it's just the x value. So if your vertex is -2, your axis of symmetry is -2. The way to remember that is I just remember axis of symmetry. It has the letter x right here, so that's my x value. That's just a little cheat sheet way for me to remember it. Okay? Which this one also says that, but the graph is wrong. Okay? Is everybody okay with that one? That one should be like a matching. Like if I gave, don't make it more difficult than it is. Okay, if I gave a 5th grader this picture and these 4 pictures and said which graph matches, do you think they could figure it out? Yeah. So don't make it more difficult than it is. Sometimes I think we tend to do that. Overthink things. Okay. Number 7. Okay, this one is similar to number 5. It says, all right, you throw a ball up. What goes up must come down, so it makes that parabola shape. And it gives all this information. But what's important here is this equation that we type in. And how long does it take for it to reach the maximum height? Let me draw this picture real quick. A fake picture. This is not the real one. But let's say this ball is thrown up and then it comes down. Okay? Where is the maximum height? Does everybody agree it's right there? Okay, what would be your answer for your time? How long something takes? Is that your x or your y value? Would y'all know that? The other one, it was 4 seconds. Was that on our x-axis or our y-axis? Not y-seconds. X-axis, because it was 4 seconds. Okay, so again, time is always your x-axis. Okay, so if it asks for how high it goes, which it does, that is your y. So time is x, height is y. So let's find them both. We are going to graph it. I'm going to get my calculator out again. It's going to be a miracle if it doesn't die before class is over. Y equals 16x squared plus 48x plus 7. And I'm going to graph and see what happens. Okay, I can't see my whole graph, right? I can see when it hits the ground, which is around 4 seconds-ish, okay? Actually, not 4, it's what? 3. But look at your answer choices. Okay, I already know my answer, y'all. I don't even have to do anything else, do I? That doesn't make sense, does it?
You have to go to, don't you have to go to window?
Yeah, but I'm trying to think. This is going, my window. Oh, no, that is not wrong. It's not at 3. That's when it hits the ground is 3. That's not what it's asking. It's asking for when is it at the top height. I almost told y'all to do the wrong thing. Yes, we have to go to window, and we have to go up. Does everybody understand that? I can't see the tip top. It looks like, when you follow along, it's going up and up and up and up and up and up and up, and then it's going to come down. Okay? This is when it hits the ground at 3 seconds, and I see that answer. But that's not what it's asking for. It's asking for the tip top of my graph. I need to go up. So let me press window, because remember, this is your window. Okay, if you draw a little window in a house, it's going to look like that. So press your window button, and instead of going up is always your y-axis, instead of going up to 10, let's go up to, I don't know, 50. Oh, I did go high enough. Does everybody see that? All right, what I'm looking for is this answer. I almost told y'all wrong a second ago. I'm looking for when does it reach its highest and what is its highest. So how would I find that answer? I'll just use the trace button, okay? For now, I'll teach y'all different in another class. But let me go to the trace button. What does that look like? 1.5 and what? 42.9. What's your answer? B. 1.5 and 43. Does that make sense, y'all? Okay.
Can I use the restrooms?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so let's keep going. All right, number 8, we're going to start solving equations. I'm going to write this on paper now. I don't have any graphs for a minute. Take out my paper. What time? I'm doing good on time. There we go. Okay, what did I say? 8. For number 8, we've got x squared minus 9 equals 0. If you want to graph it, you can. You can graph x squared minus 9 and look at your 2 answers. Or we can just solve. How would we solve for x? What would we do with that 9? Yep, we would add 9. And then this is the tricky part. We get x squared equals 9. So how do you get rid of the square? You square root it. And you should automatically think 3. But what do you notice about their answers? Yeah, it's because both of them work. If you square a 3, you would get 9. If you square negative 3, you also get 9. So it's both answers. If you were one to graph, you could type in x squared minus 9. Let me go back to Zoom 6, my standard window. And where does it cross? At negative 3 and 3. See, you can see your answer there as well. Negative 3 and 3. Okay, are we ready to keep going? Yes, no, maybe? All right, let's see. I've got x plus 12 and x plus 4 equals 0. This is already factored. All right, this one should be an easier one. They already factored it for us. How nice. So what would make this number go to 0? Does anybody just have a guess? Negative 12. What would make this one go to 0? Negative 4. Those are your 2 answers. But if you don't just know that, just set them both equal to 0. This one's equal to 0, and this one equal to 0. And then if you solve, you subtract 12, and you get negative 12. you subtract 4, and you get -4. See, that's what we set up here. So some of you can just look at that and tell your two answers. Some of y'all might need to work it out. Either way is good. Okay, I feel like I'm going faster on these. All right, z squared. This one is not factored for us. Minus 17z plus 72 equals 0. So one thing, y'all, you can do, you can type that in your calculator and look at your two answers if you want to. I'll actually do that in a second. But I'm going to factor. I prefer factoring. So what goes at the front? Well, it was a z squared. So I put z and z. And what times what is 72? Yeah, 8 and 9, but they both need to be what? Negative. So I'm going to put minus 8, minus 9. Now, that is factored, but that's not a root, a solution, a 0, whatever you want to call it. That's not an answer. How do I find my answers? What are they going to be? Anybody have a guess?
Positive 9, positive 8.
Yep, a positive 9 and a positive 8. But if you want to see how to get that, you would just set them equal to 0. So you get z equals 8 and z equals 9, which is what we just said. Okay, if you wanted to graph it, x squared, because we can't put a z, minus 17x plus 72. If I graph it, look, it's going to go through 8 and 9. It's kind of hard to tell, but can y'all see that? You can see it crosses at 8 and 9. It's really small right there. Okay? It just dips below. All right, so that one was C, number 11. Let's keep going. Number 11, it says x squared minus 4x equals 5. Well, when we solve, we're solving for zeros, so it must be equal to 0. Everybody good with that? So I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides. X squared minus 4x minus 5 equals 0. Then what do? It's not factored for me. Oh, you can graph. Watch. I'll graph first this time. Let's type it in. X squared minus 4x minus 5. Where does it look like it's crossing? At -1 and 5. Okay, so I think that's going to be my answers. I'm going to write them right here. I think that's going to be my final answers. So let's factor though. See how you can do this many different ways? We've learned so much. So we can put x and x. What times what is -5? -5 and 1, -1 and 5. What adds up to a -4? The -5 and the 1. Now, this is factored, but we haven't solved it. What would this need to be to go to 0? Positive 5, which is what I just said. What would this need to be to go to 0? -1, which we just saw on our picture of our graph. Okay? Is this easy? Yeah? Oh, good. Fantastic. All right, number 12. This one says we can graph it to see where it moved. Guess what? You can actually graph it and just look at the picture. I want you to be able to tell. This is what we were going over a minute ago when Harper asked, like, what does it do if you move it to the right or the left? Where does this one go? To the right 2 and then what? Down 3. Y'all, I'm going to look for a parabola that's moved to the right 2 and down 3. Definitely not that one. It went to the right, but it didn't go down. This one went to the left. Does everybody see that? Let me move these up. Where did this one move? To the right 2 and then where? Down 3. That's our answer B. Does everybody understand that? Another thing you can do, just graph them. Graph your basic one first. What is the basic one? It's just x squared. And then our next one, if they have parentheses, guess what you have? Parentheses, just like them. X minus 2 squared, then minus 3. I graph it, and y'all, there's the first one. There, you didn't even need the first one, sorry. There's the second one. So what graph matches? It's B, okay?
Does the -2 next to x, does that make it go left or right?
This right here, this makes it go right, which is weird. Wouldn't you think it would go, it's because it's supposed to be a minus sign, but it's always like that. When it's with the x, it's opposite of what you would naturally think. That is right 2, that is down 3. Okay? And again, you can graph it and see where did we move. We moved to the right 2 and down 3. Okay. There's those pages. Let's keep trucking along. Okay, this one's very similar. So what I'll probably do is just put one of these on there. All right, because I don't know. Are y'all thinking, is this going quick, or do y'all want me to take some of these off? Do y'all want more problems or less? I'm good either way. I'm not taking it.
I don't care.
Do y'all want me to do, there's 32. Do y'all want me to do like no, there's 30. Wait, I thought we said there was 32.
There it is.
I've lost my last page, I think. Oh, it's on the back of this. Never mind, just kidding. We'll see. I might could make 30 problems or something. Okay, this one. First of all, that -2 out front, normally it goes up because it's positive, it's happy, looks like a smile. But what happens when you put that negative out front? It flips it and it makes a frown. So I already know it's one of these 3. Okay, where does this one move? To the what? Right 3 and down 2. Does that one move to the right 3 and down 2? No. Does this one move to the right 3 and down 2? No, no graph there. This one, does it move to the right 3 and down 2? Yes. So this is it. Okay? Everybody good with that? Okay. Probably take that one off is what I'm thinking. Number 14. Same exact question. It just wants it in words. Where does this one move? Well, what does that -2 do? We just said it flips it. I use the word flips. I also use the word reflects. So it reflects it. Where does that +3 go? Left 3. And where does that one go? Up 3. So here's some things that's happened. It's reflected. Okay, I see reflected. I see reflected. Okay, we went to the left 3 and up 3. What does this one say? Nope. 3 to the left. But this one didn't have everything. This one didn't have reflected. And what's that last thing? I'm thinking it's A. Stretched by 2. Does that make sense? What number is out front? 2. So it is stretched by 2. Okay? So your answer is A. Does everybody understand that? It's been reflected. The 2 made it stretch. If it was a 3, it would have been stretched by 3. If it was a 4, it would have been stretched by 4. Anyway, then you left 3, up 3. So that one is A. That one's a lot of reading. You kind of got to check a lot of things. If it were me, I might just kind of go through and write each thing down and then see which one had it all. Okay, now number 15. We are about to start with an old review. Okay, all that we just did is the whole new chapter. So 15 goes back to old stuff. I'll try to get through, I'd love to get through like 20 problems, and I think I am before I have to go downstairs. Okay, if I have 4.6x plus 3.6 equals 17.4. How do we solve for x?
Subtract 3.6.
Yep, we're going to subtract 3.6, and yes, you can have a calculator, okay? So your calculator is going to do all the hard stuff. So you would write down the 4.6x. What is 17.4 minus 3.6? 13.6. 13.6?
I
Okay.
thought 13.8, but I don't know.
Let's see. I'm going to double check because I'm not going to put the wrong thing in front of y'all. I don't want to embarrass myself. 3.6. It is 13.8. It's 13.8. All right, then what do you do? Divide by 4.6. And our final answer is divided by 4.6, 3. So that one is C.
You are recording, right?
Huh? I am recording, yes. All right, number 16. Number 16 says 4 equals, and then they've got -5 plus z divided by 2. So the first thing we've got to do is get rid of this big fraction. So instead of dividing by 2, what am I going to do? Multiply, so it'll go away. What I do to one side, I have to do to the other. What is 4 times 2? 8. So I have 8 equals -5 plus z. Then what do I do? Add 5. What's 8 plus 5? I believe it's 13. Z is 13. You could have done like plug and play as well. You've got all the answers listed right here. Plug them in and see which ones work. That's another way. Okay. Do y'all need a second to write that? Was that one a little bit more difficult? I think it's just remembering that first step. You got to get rid of that denominator. I'm going to write number 17 down. This one looks difficult, but we're just going to go through and use our calculator. Equals 0. Almost out of room. Okay, everybody ready for 17 or do we need a second? Everybody's good? Okay, so on this one, I've got several D's. So I'm just going to take all the numbers, that's the coefficients, that are in front of them, and do whatever it says. Like this one is 3. What does this say? -4. What does this one say? +1. There is a D there. +1. And then I'm going to skip that one and -2. Is everybody okay with that? What I just did? I'm ignoring the 4. It doesn't have a D. So I'm just going to enter that in. I'm going to press 3 -4 +1 -2. Did everybody do that? And then it tells me that it's -2D. Everybody good with that? I'll mark through them. That one, that one, that one, and that one. So then I need to bring down +4 equals 0. Then what do you do? Subtract 4. We're going to subtract 4 from both sides. So -2D equals -4. Then what? Divide by -2. And D equals 2. There we go. That's number 17. We've got like 5 more minutes or so. All right, let's keep going. Are y'all copying? Okay, number, still copying? Okay, 18. 18, we have -9 over y equals 2 over 12. When you have proportions, you cross multiply. I was going to say crisscross. You cross multiply and divide. So what is -9 times 12? Yeah, that's what it is. -108. And then what is y times 2? 2y. Almost done. Almost have the y by itself. What would I do? Just divide by 2. So we get -54 equals y. There
I
you
did
go.
mine different, but I got the right answer.
Yeah, you could probably do like plug and play as well, or
What
did you do?
I did 2 divided by 12, and then I multiplied -9 times 6.
But where'd you get 6 from? Because 2 divided by 12 is not 6.
I don't know how I got 6. I got -54, but
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Unless you said, 2 times 6 is 12, -9 times 6 is -54.
I don't remember.
That's another way you
I
could
just
look
know I
at
got
it.
-54 somehow.
Be careful. Go back and check your answer when you do it maybe and see. I mean, you got the answer. Okay, y'all, 19 is 19. 19 is the exact same thing. Okay, it's a proportion. It doesn't matter how you set it up. You just must be consistent. Like, what do y'all want to put? What number goes with the 20? Okay, if y'all do that, that's perfectly fine. If you do 20 with the X, then in the same exact order, what am I going to write next? 35 with the what? 17. Is everybody clear on that? Y'all, if you did 20 and 35, what would you do next? X with 17. It doesn't matter what way you go. Just be consistent. You can't mix them up. Order matters. So let's do what they said, 20 over x. So I'm going to put my 20 with my x. All right. And then in the same exact order, what are y'all going to do next? 35 and 17. Again, there's another way to set it up. What you cannot do is put 20 with the 17. Does everybody understand that? That has just been mixed up. 20 and 17 are not the same. They're different parts. Okay? So what do you do here? Same exact thing that we went over. Cross multiply. What's 35 times x? 35x. What's 20 times 17?
340.
340. Then what do you do? Divide by 35. What did they get? Did they get a fraction? No, they got a decimal. Okay. They get 9.7. Another page done, y'all. Okay, and I still have a couple minutes. This one is, I'd like to get this whole page done if I can. Find the slope of the line. So do y'all remember how to find the slope? You can pick some points and like subtract, because that's what we'll do on 21, or I would find some corners and mark them. That's a good corner. Is this a corner right here? I'm not going to mark that one. That is not a good corner one. That's a good corner. That any of these points work. How do I get from this green dot to this green dot? I would go down 2 and over 1. I'm going to write that down. Down 2 and over 1. Which one of those answers is negative 2 over 1? A. It is A. Negative 2 is not the same thing as negative 1/2. Okay? That is down 2 and over 1. Is everybody good with that one? Okay, it's just counting. Just count on that. Down 2 and over 1. Alright. And again, you just pick, like, I would not pick a middle. I would pick a corner, because the middle's kind of hard to tell. Alright, then number 21. This might be the last one I do today. I feel pretty confident in how many we've done. So tomorrow, that means like after the first, I don't know, by 8:20, we need to be in class working.
Tomorrow?
Yes, because I know y'all will be helping clean up, but I want to have enough time to finish the review tomorrow and record it. We'll be cleaning up our desks. I don't know what it's going to look like in here. So it's going to take us time though to clean. I do know. Normally it does. All right. This one, they give us ordered pairs. Do y'all remember your formula for this? In the numerator, you subtract your y's, and in the denominator, you subtract your x's. This is what the little formula looks like. Subtract your y's, subtract your x's. Doesn't matter which one you start with. You just must be consistent. So I'll do 1 minus 8. I'll start with this one over here. 1 minus 8. Those are my y values. Then what are my x values? In the same order. 9 minus 1. If you did 8 minus 1 and 1 minus 9, you will get the same exact thing as long as you go in order. Okay? What is 1 minus 8? That is negative 7. And what is 9 minus 1? 8. Negative 7 over 8. That's C. Okay? How do we feel? Pretty good. Don't you have the answers already? Okay. So at least you've got that. And tomorrow what we'll do is start at number 22. I'm going to put that on the front of here. Let me stop my video.